All right, example 4 in a harder distribution. And oh my goodness, these next two examples are absolutely terrifying because they have everybody's favorite thing in them, and that would be fractions. We know how much we love fractions. Whoops. Okay, so again, just like we talked about, the first thing we're starting with is any distribution. And I know we said to follow order of operations, and you might be thinking that the first thing in all order of operations is groupings. And that's true. You are 100% right. But if I look at what's inside the groupings here, are 8x and negative 6, are those like terms? Can I combine those? No. What about y and 10? Y and, 4? 24x and 5. None of those things inside the parentheses are like terms that I can combine. If they were, then I would be starting with that first, but they're not, so then I jump to the multiplication. So here we're taking that 2/3 out front in our example 4, and we are multiplying that 2/3 by both the 8x and the negative 6. And I'm just going to take this step by step here. So 2/3, again, both of these can be turned into fractions by putting them over 1. 2/3 times 8x over 1 gives me 2 times 8x on the top would be 16x divided by 3, because 3 times 1 is just 3. So then I'm going to look at that 2/3 times negative 6. 2/3 times negative 6. And again, I just turned that whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. And again, don't forget you do have that last little plus 2/3 that we're going to need to continually carry down until we get to that point. So 2 times negative 6 is a negative 12, and 3 times 1 is 3, and then I'm just going to carry down that plus 2/3. All right, so now I can check to do some simplifying here. 16 over 3, I'm not thinking that's going to be a nice normal number, but let's just check it. Ooh, yeah, and you put 16 divided by 3 in your calculator, you're getting a repeating decimal. We're not going to deal with that, so leave your answer as a fraction. So we're going to make a note of that. With repeating decimals, leave your answer as a fraction. And that will be something that I continue to tell you to do, even in algebra in a little bit. And actually, I don't really think, I don't think this needs to be, oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to move on from that. Clearly not working. So like I said, we're going to keep that 16 over 3x as the fraction. Negative 12 divided by 3. Negative 12 divided 3 is a nice normal negative 4. And then plus 2/3. Negative 4 plus 2/3. I'm adding fractions there, so I need to be getting common denominators. We need common denominators. Yay! So again, that's 16 over 3x, not a like term, so it's just going to be carrying down. So I want common denominators of 3, which would require me to take both of those pieces and multiply them by 3. So negative 12 over 3 plus 2/3 gives me 16/3 x. Again, just carrying down. And here you can jump to your calculator. Negative 12 plus 2. Negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. So minus 10 over 3. So a little bit of complication there with that 2/3, but really nothing too bad. Nothing that you guys can't handle.